Coming next, we would like to representatives from the organizer as well as our strategic partner. First of all, we would like to invite Ms. Macy Chan, Commissioner for the Development of Guangdong-Hong, Kong-Macao, Greater Bay Area. Hello, Patrick, President Leung, District Chief Lin, as well as Ms. Wen. Good afternoon. Welcome you all to attend this seminar for accounting sector under GoGBA. Today's event is co-organized by our office as well as TDC, and we are also very honored to have HKCMAB as our strategic partner. First of all, I'm very grateful for all the leaders from Nansha government as well as the Qianhai Administrative Bureau, so that they will be here to explain to you the collaborative platform of both Nansha and Qianhai as well as the incentive policies. I'm also grateful for the great support offered by HKCMAB. In a second, the leaders from the accounting sector will share with you what are the strategies and some practical know-how about this accounting business in the development of GBA. Hopefully, by the seminar today, you will be able to better grasp the development opportunities offered by GBA. Under one country, two system, Hong Kong enjoy the free flow of funds. We have the common law system, low tax regime, as well as the connection with the international market. We have renowned professional services, and we also have good business environment. We are truly the best location if people are seeking a super connector between mainland and the global market. Our special edge is the strongest support to our talents as well as enterprises, helping them to tap into the business opportunities in GBA. Among them, accounting is the infrastructure and the common language in the global market. It is an integral part in the professional sector in facilitating the modern industrial system, as well as the internationalize of market. Our accounting sector ranks one of the top in the world. It is an important force supporting Hong Kong as well as different sectors in the GBA area to move towards high-quality development. The Hong Kong SAR government has always valued the development of the accounting sector in Hong Kong, and we would like to lower the threshold for accounting sector to work in GBA so that our professionals will be able to develop their career in GBA. As of now, our certified accountants can waive part of the subjects as they attend the accountant exam in mainland China. On the other hand, registered mainland accountant can already on the other hand, our accountants can also become partners of accounting firm in mainland China. The Hong Kong SAR government will continue to collaborate with the mainland authorities to seek further breakthroughs and better connection between our regulations as well as mechanisms so that our financial market can further connect and to better make use of the competitive edge that we already have at the International Financial Center. This April, the Security Supervision Management Committee announced that even more headquarters from mainland will be listed in Hong Kong market, infusing energy and attraction to the new stock market in Hong Kong. And it is also beneficial to the professional services sector, including accounting. In the areas of compliance, consultation, risk management, green finance, green tech, accounting sector also have huge room for development. In order to encourage and further support the talents and enterprises in Hong Kong to make full use of the potentials in the GBA, our office is putting all our efforts into supporting the optimization of the digital platform created by GBA, so that the residents as well as enterprises will be able to find practical financial and trade tips regarding the GBA market. In the past year, together with TDC, we have organized a number of seminars called GBA Development Day in different cities in mainland China so that we can explain to everybody about the business opportunities in GBA. And we have hundreds of participants for each seminar showing the huge attraction of GBA. This year, we are also rolling out the GoGBA on different sectors. We are offering more practical and specific information and support to different enterprises. We also offer more diversified forms of program. The seminar for the accounting sector today is the first in this series. Following will be other activities, including the field trip for the accounting sector in GBA during July. Participants will be able to visit Shenzhen and to develop their networks. I encourage all of you from the accounting sector to participate in it through the talks as well as visits to different mainland corporates where we'll be able to understand better the latest development opportunities in the industry as well as GBA. Last but not least, I wish this seminar a full success and I wish you all good health. Thank you, Macy. Please be seated. Coming next, we would like to invite Deputy Director of Hong Kong Trade Development Council, Dr. Patrick Lau, to deliver its welcome speech. Thank you. Dear Macy Chen, Roy Leung, Director 1, and District Chief Lin, distinguished guests, dear friends, good afternoon. On behalf of HKTDC, I would like to welcome you all together as the SME Center today for the seminar. We do see that there is huge potential in the Greater Bay Area. Therefore, 3 years ago, we have rolled out the GoGBA platform, and it is well supported by many of our partners. And our greatest support is from Macy, as well as HKCMAB government, as well as Macy's office. We are also well supported by the Guangdong province. We have a lot of support from the leaders, as well as various cities in the Greater Bay Area, together with the support of different commerce chambers. On this platform, you can find an aggregated platform with all the 9+2 cities. Since we rolled out over the past 3 years, we are glad to see that we have reached over 4 million visits on our website.
This indicates that we are all very interested in the business opportunities in the Greater Bay Area. And with all the support from our partners, GoGBA has gone offline. In the executive address, the chief executive mentioned that we have to open service centers in 9 different cities in the Greater Bay Area, and very soon the 10th service center will be open in the Futian area of Shenzhen. And we have also organized more than 110 different on-site activities, providing services to more than 8,000 individuals. These indicate that everybody has been participating actively. Our team has very glad to have received a number of awards. We won a mini program award and also the Best Innovation Award. Was really gratifying is we've witnessed a number of very successful case studies in the Greater Bay Area, and in addition to benefiting businesses from Hong Kong, we are also benefiting businesses from outside of Hong Kong. And so I need to underscore the importance of innovation. And I hope that businesses could enjoy the benefits provided by the many different authorities in the Greater Bay Area and with the accounting industry, with the support of Roy and his professional organizations. I would encourage those of you in the accounting industry to actively participate in the Greater Bay Area and utilizing our services in the process. I know you've spent a lot of time and have been very active in providing professional services for IPO, M&As, etc. And I'm sure there are a lot more business opportunities in the Greater Bay Area. And I'm sure these activities will benefit all of you because there are tremendous business opportunities in the Greater Bay Area. Finally, we will launch officially GoGBA accounting no-frill notes. The purpose of GoGBA is to provide free of charge all the information online. And in addition, we like to simplify making all this information more accessible, which is why we are launching this accessible information pack where preferential treatments, registration, and business practice and practical tips are all going to be online. And we will also organize a visit in July. And I will encourage you to access the information. Thank you. Please be seated, Patrick. Now let's welcome Roy Leung for an address. Mr. Chen, Mr. Lau, Ms. Liu, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank the Guangdong-Hong Kong-Macao Greater Bay Area Development Council and GoGBA Business Support for organizing this event, and also want to thank the leaders from Nansha for their support. We are committed to promoting prosperity and professional development in this area. As we celebrate the 5th anniversary of the Greater Bay Area Development Plan, the Greater Bay Area has been improving its abilities to provide high-tech and also the interconnectivities of the different markets. Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau are deepening their relationships. The Commissioner and the CEO mentioned how important this accounting industry can tap into the business opportunities. It's also been mentioned that accounting is the common language in the international business domain. We are very good at auditing and preparing statements, but in addition to this, we are also actively participating and providing professional services in companies going public, digital transformation. And so when helping businesses for digital transformation or helping companies being listed in Hong Kong, these endeavors are all in line with China's development goal. And We are also promoting the development of the business and also the Hong Kong community. These endeavors are also consistent with China's development goals. Now, because we are familiar with international practices and we also have a lot of experience in developing the mainland market, therefore we are ideal to help Chinese companies going abroad and helping overseas businesses going into China. And these opportunities have been utilized by our members to develop themselves in mainland China and the Greater Bay Area. Just this week, we went on a visit to Beijing, where we had a meeting with relevant authorities, including the Ministry of Finance, and we built very close connection with different political leaders in mainland China. All of this is to help our industry to tap into the business opportunities in the Greater Bay Area. We also have a Greater Bay Area Commission that formulates different plans and organizes different activities, including this very seminar, and also organize tours to visit the Greater Bay Area and collaborate with certified public accountants in mainland China so that we could train more accountants in the Greater Bay Area. I'd like to thank the support from the mainland Chinese government as well as the Hong Kong government for promoting and facilitating our members to work in the Greater Bay Area because of the waiver and preferential treatments given to Hong Kong accountants. Therefore, I benefited from it. I am a certified accountant in mainland China. And so in the audience, we have a lot of accountants and auditors. And a lot of experts from different sectors of the accounting industry will participate in this panel discussion so that we could talk about how to promote the development in the Greater Bay Area. Finally, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me and my best wishes to this event. Thank you, Roy. Now, as our seminar is going to be divided into two parts. We are very also happy to have invited Qianhai and Nansha. And so these government officials from Nansha and Qianhai will participate in the presentation. Now let's welcome Ms. Wen Bing. Mr. Lau, Ms. Chen, Mr. Leung, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am very happy to participate in today's seminar, and on behalf of the Qianhai Authority, I want to thank the TDC for inviting us. Building the Greater Bay Area is in line with the business and political agenda of the Chinese government. It is important for us to build a strong and prosperous Greater Bay Area, and a pilot program was promoted in the Qianhai area to promote the Greater Bay Area, deepening the collaboration and high quality open up. Last year, the State Council also issued Qianhai Development Plan, where it is important to build a high-quality, modernized service industry in Qianhai area. And in his policy address, the Chief Executive John Lee mentioned the huge potential for collaboration between Hong Kong and Qianhai. And Qianhai plays a very important role. And the size of the area has been expanding. Now that it's been expanded, more opportunities are available. We could provide more services to businesses from Hong Kong. In 2023, local GDP was as high as 230 billion yuan and providing services for more than 200,000 businesses. I would encourage businesses from Qianhai to utilize Hong Kong as a portal to enter into the global market. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange on the 28th of May, Qianhai company went public in Hong Kong. And it had a very good performance in its stock price. And the valuation was as high as 1.8 billion yuan. And so we encourage businesses from Hong Kong to enter into the Qianhai area. We have more than 300,000 individuals from Hong Kong actively working in Qianhai. And Hong Kong professionals have very high reputation, professional reputation, providing professional services from clients from around the world. And Qianhai underscored the importance of its collaboration with accountants from Hong Kong in terms of policy reformulation. We have a new tax regulation allowing accountants from Hong Kong to register and provide the taxation services in Qianhai area. And some 76 taxation experts from Hong Kong and Macau have registered, and 9 firms have also registered in Qianhai. And Hong Kong accountants, before they receive their CPA qualification, they could work as partners at accounting firms in Qianhai.
At the moment, we already have 9 accountants from Hong Kong to become partners of accounting firms in Qianhai. Under the principle of connecting the accounting sector in Hong Kong, we hope that we can continue to put together some opening up measures for both sectors. Speaking of development, last year, we continue to develop different careers to help the development in Qianhai, including the first connector, which connect both Shenzhen, Hong Kong, and Qianhai. At the moment, we already have 28 top 100 finance and taxation institutions on the list, including the EY, PCW. They are also one of them. We also have AICPA and CIMA. This is a center for these professional services as well as the digital sector, so that the professionals, including the accounting sector, can have a broader platform to work together. In terms of industry policy, starting from last August, Shenzhen has already released the action plan of speeding up such development. In terms of auditing for IPO, extraterritorial institutions, and building accounting alliances, the government are all supporting all these endeavors. This April, the Ministry of Finance have released incentive policies in this regard. 15% of our taxation wave can expand to about 100 corporates in Qianhai. For the residents in Hong Kong, for the taxable income of Hong Kong residents working in Qianhai, it can be waived if it exceeds the tax amount required by Qianhai, so that we can continue to support the connection between Shenzhen and Hong Kong, and further measures will be released by the end of this year. Because of time constraint, I cannot go into details. Coming next, we will have Mr. Zhou Yaorong, the Deputy Director of my department, can give you more details. you know, it is a hinterland. All the 9 cities last year exceed 1.1 billion. For Shenzhen alone, it has reached 360 million. We have 583 listed companies there. I think we have 110 companies from Shenzhen getting listed in Hong Kong. And for the professional sectors, we have around 24,000 of them. I hope that there will be more accounting firms and accountants from Hong Kong can make better use of the platform in Qianhai and to expand the potentials in Qianhai, to make good use of their competitive edge, enhance their professionalism, and to join efforts in exploring the international market so that together we can flip into a new chapter of both Qianhai and Hong Kong. On behalf of Qianhai, I sincerely invite accounting sector from Hong Kong to visit us and to exchange with us, learn more. Let us learn more from each other. I hope that we can join efforts and create a win-win situation. Thank you, Ms. Wen. Please be seated. Coming next, we would like to hear from Mr. Zhou Yaorong, Director of the Professional Services Division of the Qianhai Administration Bureau. Honorable Macy Chen, Mr. Patrick Lau, Mr. Roy Leung, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. When I received the notification, I felt quite anxious because I thought I need more time. And I'm not an accounting profession. So this is what I learned in my role. I might not be mature in what I share. If there is anything that I got wrong, please feel free to correct me. Today, my sharing topic is about the development opportunities and challenges regarding finance and taxation service sector in GBA, including the HKCMAB. We have looked into a number of these issues. Let's talk about the value of the accounting sector. Perhaps you will ask, why values? I think all the professionals need to know the value of our own sector, including what Macy Chan have said. It is a general common language in the business world. However, in mainland China, many Party A market haven't fully tasted the value of accounting sector as well. Many enterprises try to avoid professional services as much as they can in order to save cost. Therefore, when we talk about value, my target is the mainland enterprises who don't see the value of such professional services. So it is a challenge for us, but it also poses huge opportunities because many of them do not see the value. When they see it, they would be like finding a treasure. It is empowering. Second, we are now targeting at high-quality development in our economy, and it is all about the empowering capacity of our professional services. Second, some recent development of the accounting sector in mainland. I think we have about 120,000 billions of GDP. Therefore, we need to have a high proportion of talents and professionalism in finance and taxation, but the proportion is now very low. Well, before 2020, income in the accounting sector is only 104 billion yuan, and it only takes up 0.08% of our total GDP. If the proportion of the accounting sector can increase into 0.15, it will be a huge growth. It is a growth of 90 billion yuan. or if we increase it to 0.2%, and at that time, maybe the total GDP is up to 130,000 billion. If it is up to 0.3% of the total GDP, then the total will be 39 billion yuan in total. According to the current track, I think it is difficult for us to have such development. Last year, we have about 100 billions of development. For Eastern China, we have taken out about 39%, for the Northern China 16%, and Southern China about 23%. So we only half of the development of Eastern China, certainly not. It shows you the market value and potential of Southern China. Many professional services institutions in China also have poor branding differentiation. Let me give you an example. We have 4 companies out of the top 100 enterprises in China, including Zhongtin. This is the Zhongtin brand. They are all professional services, but they are all starting their names with Zhongtin. It is very difficult for us to differentiate the brand. I am already a professional, and I can't even tell who is who. That is why I said, well, apart from the top accounting brand, all the others have poor branding differentiation. Therefore, we still are unable to tap into the fullness of market potentials. Therefore, it has been proposed that we have to develop a servicing system which is led by the accounting sector. On one hand, we have to grasp the market opportunities. We have to value it. Well, I think you have all heard from the director from the Ministry of Finance last year. Therefore, we all see huge market potentials. I would also like to talk about the opportunities and challenges of Hong Kong accounting sector. As Macy Chen has mentioned, the professional services in Hong Kong is worldly renowned, including our accounting sector. We have exceptional talents. But in the last couple of years, we have encountered some difficulties in our economy. We still have our strong capabilities, yet our market is shrinking. Therefore, the professional accounting sector is in face of some challenges as well as many opportunities. Well, because all the professional enterprises have a lot of great talents. This is the hope of the accounting sector. This is also one of the many reasons why we organized the seminar today. So where is our market? As Ms. Wan has talked about the economic data in GBA, we are biggest in size as a Bay Area. Last year, we have a market size of about 2,000 billion of market size. As for Shenzhen, we have a GDP of 3,460 billion, and well, comparatively speaking, if you look at the proportion of the accounting sector and GDP in Shenzhen, the proportion is still very low. It is only about 0.18. In Shanghai, the proportion of our accounting sector and this total GDP is 0.38% in Shanghai. Those in Beijing, it's 0.54. So it's more advanced. According to the 6% of growth rate, in 3 years' time, our GDP will exceed 4,000 billion yuan. If the income of our accounting sector remains such a proportion, perhaps we can increase it to 0.3. Then we will have about 12 billion of yen. If we achieve the proportion of 0.4%, then the GPA will be up to 4,000 billion yuan. Then it will be about 18 billion yuan. If we can catch up with that of Singapore, Hong Kong, and London, 0.5% of proportion, then we will have a market of around 20 billion. With such strong economic foundation, accounting sector is still underdeveloped. Therefore, I see a lot of potentials in the future development. Let's look at Qianhai. We have a 120 kilometers square. About 34 kilometers square belongs to Nanshan. I think GDP is top 5. Perhaps Dinghai in Beijing is a little bit higher than us, as well as Chaoyang. Last year in Nanshan, we have about 180 kilometers, and we have up to 856 yuan. Next to us in Bao'an, we have 520 billion. But for these two districts, apart from the accounting firms that we introduced last year, we don't even have one of the top 10 accounting firms. Throughout Shenzhen, we have such a well-developed economy, but we only have 2 or top 100 accounting firms located in Shenzhen. So the problem we now have is a very low proportion of accounting sector, but we have huge potential in the future. Last week, we've organized an event in Nanshan. We have over 500 of enterprises who are planning to get listed. And we have about 100 of them who are rather mature. But because of the market situation, many enterprises decided to postpone the plan. When the market resumes, maybe we will have at least 100 enterprises that will quickly get ready to be listed. Therefore, I truly believe that there is huge potential with the Greater Bay Area. As for the management, well, just now we have talked about the market value in the mainland market, but we have a lot of difficulties as we develop. We have a lot of difficulties, including the internationalization, digitalization. This all concerns the level of development in our industry, because we have a lot of problem in our professionalism. As Mr. Leung has mentioned, going out is a lot of discussion going around.
However, there aren't that many professional services that could assist Chinese companies going overseas. A lot of professional businesses in mainland China are not familiar with the international practice and requirements. Digitalization is also a very important area for development. Now that there is AI and yet a lot of things are being done manually, and therefore in the future a lot of things that are repetitive will be replaced by AI. A lot of high-tech companies in Shenzhen are really well developed, and yet they don't play as an important role as they want in the digitalization of businesses in China. Also, I am sure we are handling a lot of problems of huge accounting firms. Probably there are professional ethics concerns. And so these limit the development of our economy. And because of this limitation, therefore, reforms are very important. And so Qianhai is going to play a very important role. The red area on the map is where Qianhai is located. And also the central government has issued the overall development plan for the macro development of Qianhai. Industries such as accounting and legal services are part of this plan, and therefore Qianhai is committed to developing the professionalization of the accounting industry. And we also need to deepen the development of innovation platform. As I mentioned, the systemic limitations of the accounting industry in mainland China. With this plan, it is important for Qianhai to conduct a number of pilot schemes so as to better develop the accounting industry. And this is the value of Qianhai. Qianhai can be a location and venue for new policies to be tested. Shenzhen, as a special economic zone, celebrated its 40th anniversary not long ago, and President Xi Jinping, in his remark on the commemoration of Shenzhen becoming a special economic zone, mentioned in his presentation that it is important for Shenzhen to develop into a world-class professional service, including finance, innovation, design, legal, and exhibition. And so in Qianhai, we have done a number of studies on how to attract talents. For instance, giving professional accountants and lawyers and doctors waivers for them to practice. And we also work closely with the Hong Kong CPA professional organization. Somebody commented that is the most challenging examination in the world to be certified in in China. I think slightly more than 100 Hong Kong individuals are certified. I think is because of the language, where mainland China uses simplified Chinese characters, and individuals from Hong Kong are not familiar with this language. And in fact, with the support from our friends from Hong Kong, we've conducted a number of studies to facilitate professional accounting professionals to practice in Qianhai. The Ministry of Finance has allowed Qianhai to attract Hong Kong talents without having to pass Chinese accounting certificate examination to practice as an non-auditing partner in accounting firms in mainland China. And in the future, we may talk about how we could facilitate more accountants from Hong Kong to practice in Qianhai. Hopefully, there will be breakthroughs in this area. Finally, we have one goal. A lot of accounting firms, they don't spend too much on advertising the brand, and therefore Qianhai could become a venue for these professional firms to build and develop their brands. When people think about accounting and finance services, they think about Qianhai. And this is something that we want to achieve. And we're very pleased to report to you that this is bearing fruits, because a lot of Chinese companies, they want to go overseas. They come to Qianhai to seek professional services. And these policy supports require some financial support. And we are committed to spending more than 100 million RMB to provide, for instance, we'll provide preferential rents and subsidy. And there are three types of services that we like to provide: high quality taxation accounting firm, CPA firms, and also asset evaluation firms. These should be very high quality. And we have 4 goals. Number 1 is to continue to open up. Number 2 is to deepen the collaboration between Shenzhen and Hong Kong. Number 3 is to focus on industry development. And number 4 is to continue its reform. Now, because of time, I'm not going to carry on, but I will encourage you to come visit Qianhai and to understand our development and what kind of benefits we'll provide to your businesses. Finally, let me briefly talk about the different policies. There are more than 10 different strengths in these policies. A lot of professionals, when you come to Qianhai, may it be a professional, may it be a partner, you could all enjoy all these preferential treatments. And Nanshan also provides a lot of supports, including financial supports, rental subsidy. We all face very difficult economic challenges, and yet in Qianhai and Nanshan, we provide all these very attractive and competitive attraction. Now, people from Hong Kong, they are guaranteed housing and accommodation. So finally, welcome to Qianhai. Come visit us in Qianhai. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Zhou. Please be seated. Now, let's move on to understand what is happening in Nansha. So let's welcome Ms. Ling Ling from the Nansha government. Mr. Chen, Mr. Long, Mr. Leung, ladies and gentlemen, and councillors from Hong Kong, a very good afternoon. There are many new friends and old friends in the audience because I was the Deputy Secretary General of the Accounting Association of Guangdong Province. And I'm so happy to see many of you again. However, I'm also very happy to have make new friends. And now we are here to talk about the development of accounting development. I'm very excited. And on behalf of the Nansha government, my best wishes to this seminar. I am sure many of you have been to Nansha because I met some of you in Nansha. Some of you may not have been to Nansha, and let me show you on this map. So Nansha, as you could see on this map, is 803 square kilometers, is in the middle of this Greater Bay Area. It is an important hub for the Greater Bay Area. It is only 38 nautical miles from Nansha to Hong Kong and not too far to Macau. Is closer to travel to Hong Kong from Nansha than to travel from Nansha to Guangzhou. And only 25% of our district has been developed. The development could be divided into a number of stages. First is the Panyu area. Number 2 is the Nansha of Guangdong province, and number 3 is the Nansha of the Greater Bay Area, and number 4 is the Nansha of the world, because in 2022, the plan for development to develop Nansha is to be internationalized, and the internationalization of Nansha has given forces to the internationalization of the Greater Bay Area, and there are a number of preferential taxation arrangements for Nansha. Subsequently, a number of important platforms have established then in Nansha, and Nansha has recorded double-digit growth rate in 2024. Is the 14th five-year plan important year, and it is also an important year for the plan to develop Nansha. One of the keys is to collaborate with professional organizations from Hong Kong and also to help Chinese businesses to go overseas. And the number of taxation organizations in Nansha, and therefore we've created a cluster for the Greater Bay Area of accounting and taxation, which comprises of taxation, accounting, financial services cluster to provide professional policy preferential treatments to businesses in these industries.
Dear accountants, I myself is an accountant. I need to tell you that in Nansha today, we have very unique competitive edge, and we are at a historical strategic point. It is the golden era for our sector. It is going to bring us all huge business opportunities. I really look forward to seeing Hong Kong accountants in this area. With your professional background, I hope that you will join your efforts with the development engine of Nansha. I hope that you will all find your own opportunities at the seminar today. Make good use of the preferential policies in Nansha. With the economic development in Nansha, you would be able to develop your personal career and offer your support to the development of the city. And I hope that this seminar will embark a new journey for all of us so that we will welcome a brighter future together. Thank you very much. And I hope that in Nansha, this district full of dreams, you will find your brightest future. Thank you. Please be seated. We would like to invite Deputy Director of the Finance Department from Nansha District, Mr. Tao Wensheng. Thank you. Good afternoon. I will directly jump into my topic. Nansha has received 3 preferential finance and taxation policies from the central administration. First of all, income tax, especially for those in Hong Kong and Macau, the taxable income exceeding the tax regime of Hong Kong and Macau can be waived in Nansha. Well, our slogan is Hong Kong people pay Hong Kong tax, while Macau people pay Macau tax. I think it's more direct and explicit. The income that enjoys such preferential treatment is, first of all, the integrated income from Nansha, which include the salaries, the remunerations, as well as the services fees of patents. Second, the operation income from Nansha. The third one is the subsidies offered to the talents provided by the local government of Nansha, because the local government in Nansha really want to nurture talents, especially wants to encourage Hong Kong and Macau residents to create business in Nansha. Therefore, they have released a series of preferential policies and subsidies. Features of this tax policy is that its scope is very broad. Based on Article 24 Basic Law, it covers all the income of Hong Kong and Macau residents. So it include those permanent resident and non-permanent residents. They can both enjoy this support policies. For other locations, there will be restrictions of time period of 90 days and 130 days respectively, but in Nansha, we do not have such restrictions. And the calculation of our tax is closer to the regime of Hong Kong and Macau. It has maximized our similarities with the tax system in both Hong Kong and Macau. So apart from our work status and identity status, we also need to pay attention to this point. Before they enjoy this special treatment, there shall be no record of violation in taxation in both Hong Kong and Macau. As for the enterprises, the government is offering a 15% reduction in tax on profit tax, including those who are in the industries that are supported by the government, which include the Nansha Bay as well as the Nansha Hub. These are the key areas that are being covered. We have a total of 23 kilometers square. This is the first point to note. Second, it also has to follow the preferential catalog. We have 8 different categories and a total of 140 items, which is approved by the central administration. Based on this catalog, we further divide it into 558 different items so that you can have a better idea about the industries that are being covered. The link here will lead you to the 558 items, which include the high and innovative technologies, life medicine, new materials, logistics, modern service industries, as well as the financial industries. Speaking of the profit tax, there are certain conditions. Their core business has to be included in the catalog, and this core business have to take over 60% of the total income. Second, the material operation. What does that mean? The operation, the personnel, bookkeeping, and assets has to be fully managed and controlled. What I mean is the manufacturing sector can be located in somewhere else, but the management section has to be located in Nansha. The third one is to extension of the time period, which applies mainly to the technology sector. Before they are qualified for such tax exemption, 8 years before they acquire such exemption, if there is no deficit, then the longest period allowed for them to have deficit is 13. So it is much longer than now. It is targeting on some innovative technology sector. We also have the restriction on the major operation. It has to take advanced and innovative technology as its core business. It has to take up over 60% of its income. There is no restrictions in geographical location. You can enjoy it in the whole area of Nansha. So these are the 3 preferential policies offered by the central government to Nansha. Just now, District Director Lin Ling has shared with us. She is from Qianhai, and she has shared with us about the support offered by the Qianhai authority. The leaders from Qianhai also explained to us the huge potentials and the great markets that they have to offer. And we believe that in this process, we can't rely on the enterprises alone. The government also have to release some policies to support the kickoff of these businesses. Therefore, we have launched our 9 preferential policies. There are 3 major aspects. The first, we support a conglomerate development. We will offer them full support. We would support companies who settle in our area. We will also offer them some rent incentives, subsidies. And we also selected Nansha Bay because it is highly accessible. They can also enjoy 18% of profit tax cut. So it is also a support to attract people to settle in Nansha. We think that we really require some high-quality talents since it is a service sector. Therefore, we really focus on the support and nurturing of talents. So the second area of support is to attract talent nurturing. First, we would give certain remuneration or rewards to the natural partners or shareholders of some qualified institutions. We would also give them life subsidies to the qualified undergraduate or master degree holders. Second, nurturing high-end talents. There are 2 major types of policies here. First, to all outstanding talents on both the national level, professional level, as well as those who have become the committee member of some industry institutions. We will give them some one-off subsidies. Third, strengthening the support between Hong Kong and Macau. We will give them some one-off support if they hold certain certificates required by us. For those who have made partners, or if they are shareholders of the accounting firm, we will also give them rewards and support. We would also like to encourage institutions to hire professionals from Hong Kong and Macau. If the institutions have made such recruitment, we will also give them some monetary support. And we will give them some support in their annual income. We will give them some support towards the annual income of those professionals from Hong Kong and Macau that are hired by these institutions. Third, the enhancements of the institutions. If the corporates are ranking high on the national level, we will give them support. And we also like to support those who would like to go public, purchase insurance, the information capacity building, as well as building branch in overseas market. So these are the three major areas of support that we would like to offer them. Finally, here is our contact. If you are interested, please feel free to reach out to us. This is a government-owned enterprise. We have a total of 12,000 meters square of space. So we truly want to welcome you to visit Nansha and meet with us. Thank you. Thank you for your sharing. Please be seated. Coming next, we have our discussion section. Before that, we have to set up our stage first. Let me introduce to you the supporting service we offer for SMEs. First and foremost, this is the GoGBA information pack, especially prepared for the accounting sector. In the information pack, you can find details and room for collaboration in GBA, also the requirements of acquiring license in mainland China. Please scan the QR code on the screen and download the information pack. Second, that is the WeChat mini app of GoGBA. You can find all sorts of information related to GBA, including to the preferential policies as well as other programs and activities in the area. If you have not downloaded it yet, please scan the QR code and download this mini app of us on WeChat. Thirdly, we have T-Box. T-Box is totally free of charge. Our team will support you in terms of upgrading your brand, exploring the market opportunity, as well as ESG. We hope to increase your competitiveness in order to help promote the one-stop professional service in Hong Kong, including the legal services and accounting services. HKTDC would like to offer the program of Hong Kong Professional Plus. It will be hosted in March next year in Vietnam. We would like to explore the business opportunities in ASEAN countries. Please feel free to sign up with us. If you are interested or if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us after the seminar. I can see that the stage is now ready. Let us enter into the discussion section. In this section, we will discuss with you about the strategies as well as some practical matters of Hong Kong accounting services in the GBA area so that we can be complementary of each other. And we are very honored to have a number of experts from the accounting sector to share with us.
Let's welcome Mr. Robert Loy from Deloitte to moderate, and Robert helped more than 50 companies to go public in Hong Kong, and he's familiar with the business landscape in the Greater Bay Area. And we also like to invite Mr. Stephen Law, Ms. Jasmine Lee, Mr. Michael Lee, and Mr. Benson Law from PricewaterhouseCoopers. Please be seated. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like to ask questions, scan the QR code on the back of your name tag So Robert, the floor is yours. You can all hear me? We'll have 45 minutes. It's like half game of a soccer game. So in this section, we'll talk about the nitty-gritty parts of auditing and accounting business in the Greater Bay Area. We'll also talk about wealth management, ESG, and family offices. So the MC has introduced all of them. They all work volunteer for the Hong Kong Association of CPA. Michael and Jasmine, Stephen. And so we'll talk about the situation in the Greater Bay Area from different perspectives. As mentioned earlier, I focus more on helping companies to go public in Hong Kong. And people are wondering if the business are still good because fewer companies are seeking to go public in Hong Kong. Well, I think this has to do with the cyclical nature of the economy and also because of the high interest rate. Well, my insight is I just came back from Bao'an in Shenzhen. The traffic was really bad. And I went to see my clients in Bao'an, and I will go to Foshan, and I will also go to Macau to visit my clients who want to go public in Hong Kong. As far as I'm concerned, now that we are in post-COVID era, people are getting excited because I went to see so many clients. Now we have our competitors in the panel, but I like to share with you there are businesses that want to go public in Hong Kong, and they will require our professional services. I'm sure Stephen will talk about the latest 18C, which will be promulgated very soon. This will benefit Hong Kong stands as an international financial hub. And a lot of companies could utilize the platform in Hong Kong to tap into the Chinese mainland market. And a lot of mainland Chinese companies could also utilize our platform to tap into the international market. So Stephen can talk about 18C and talked about investment potentials in the Greater Bay Area. I used to work for MTR, and MTR operates high-speed train between Hong Kong and mainland China. 18C was listed in Hong Kong. I am a director and I am a shareholder, and the IPO was oversubscribed and it closed. The stock price closed much higher. When we talked about the Greater Bay Area, we need to talk about one country, two systems. Now, because of the one country, two systems, the Greater Bay Area concept was created. There are 11 different cities in the Greater Bay Area with more than 80 million people in its population. And the size of it is 4 times higher than that in Singapore. We have 7 competitive advantages in Hong Kong. Hong Kong, number 1, is a top-rated platform for financing. There's a lot of things that could be done in Hong Kong for financing. Number 2 is the high-quality development in mainland China. We have Shenzhen Hong Kong Connect, Shanghai Hong Kong Connect. Number 3 is the common law jurisdiction. We are competing with a lot of people. We sit between the mainland Chinese market and the rest of the world. A lot of international businesses, they feel comfortable coming to Hong Kong because we have common law here. Number 4, we have the world's largest offshore RMB center. Now, in addition to trading with the mainland Chinese market and also the Middle Eastern markets, now where do we store these RMB? Well, they could store and save the RMB here in Hong Kong. We are also an excellent financial center, and people could set up their funds here in Hong Kong. And we also have a large number of family offices in Hong Kong. Benson is a family office expert. Number 6, we have a green financial center. We issue a large number of e-bonds in Hong Kong, ranking the first in Asia. Number 7, Hong Kong dollar is convertible internationally because Hong Kong dollar is pegged to the US dollar, and therefore people feel comfortable using Hong Kong dollar. Number 8, people can't do cryptocurrency in mainland China, but cryptocurrency could be done here in Hong Kong. And the government also provides a lot of support to the development of cryptocurrency business in Hong Kong. Let me talk about this structure. For instance, movie for joint venture. For investors, you could also invest in funds. People who want to invest in RMB, they could invest via the vehicle of QFIR, and QTLP is for the reverse order. And I'm not young anymore, so those of you who are young, you should be very excited about the Greater Bay Area because it provides a lot of opportunities. And there is this company headquartered in Shenzhen with a number of offices in mainland China, and now that is listed in Hong Kong, is also active in the science park. And a lot of Hong Kong people are also working for them. For instance, the CFO is from Hong Kong, and also they have Hong Kong employees who are fluent in English, who have international exposure to be involved in the international business. And there's a lot of business opportunities, and also local governments in the Greater Bay Area, they provide different preferential treatment, for instance, tax relief or subsidized housings, etc. In the past, the Chinese government focuses on high quality productivity. For instance, 5G and also EV. Now that China is the largest EV manufacturers in the world. And now we're moving into AI. It could be AI of different companies, and AI could be used in the pharmaceutical companies, shortening the R&D of new drugs. This will benefit a lot of people who need drugs. Number two is new energy storage. We are going to talk about hydrogen energy. Number three is commercial space development. In the past, the government spends a lot of resources on satellite, and in the future, with a lot more satellites orbiting the Earth, we won't need a SIM card. And also, drones could deliver. Drones could help with farming, and in the future, we don't have to drive. There will be drones moving people from one place to another place. The Chinese government created a super data management last year, and therefore it is important for us to utilize the data to benefit our business and help our clients. And as a conclusion, the Greater Bay Area provides a lot of business opportunities to young people from Hong Kong and Macau, and there's going to be a lot of needs for professional services, for instance, taxation, mergers and acquisitions. Thank you. So after listening to Stephen's remarks, I think we are all excited to go to the Greater Bay Area because there's a lot of development opportunities available in the Greater Bay Area. He talked about family business, finance, talents, a lot of things that Hong Kong could do, Hong Kong could help. And these could all be attributed to one country, two systems. Let's talk about family business now because everybody seems to be very interested in family business. Benson is an expert of family business, family offices. Could Benson talk about family offices, for instance, in the Greater Bay Area, in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong connects with the rest of the world. And so Hong Kong can provide talents and how to facilitate family offices.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Stephen. Well, actually, Stephen has already covered 90% of my content in a very succinct way because he has talked about his 7 major competitive edge in Hong Kong. If you put all these competitiveness onto the policies and promoting businesses with family offices, they are very much aligned. The Hong Kong government has put a lot of effort into formulating policies to promote this area. In March 2023, our CE, John Lee, has already made public all these policies. In formulating all these government policies, the core is the strength of Hong Kong, as Stephen's mentioned. It also concerns the needs and demands of family offices. One of the major functions of family offices is to provide a lineage inheritance of the heritage and to manage the wealth. Hong Kong has already been playing a very unique role in this regard because we are an international financial center. We have free flow of capital, and because of the strength that we have in our financial policies. Well, last but not least, our accounting sector is highly professional. We also have lawyers, bankers, fund managers, well, we all rank really high in the world. In the area of building up the family office businesses, the Hong Kong SAR government also have some other thoughts. As you can see in the government policy, it continued to strengthen our tax position. Originally, we have a low tax rate, and we are offering even more preferential treatments to family offices. In March, we also have a new capital investment entry scheme, aka investment immigration. It is relaunched in March, and we have received or witnessed a lot of positive responses. Hong Kong is an international city. Therefore, we have competitions on all fronts. Of course, we will face all of them heads on. In macroeconomy, we do have a lot of challenges, but probably you have heard of that. Globally speaking, family offices have a lot of different advantages, including Singapore, Dubai, as well as certain cities in Europe. They are all some hot picks of family offices. As a center for family offices in Hong Kong, one of our competitiveness is our location in the GBA area. Because they need talents, they need funds. They would also hope that the market as the hinterland is larger in size. Therefore, as we discuss about family offices, people will always ask, how can GBA support the attraction of family offices into Hong Kong? As mentioned, we have one country, two systems as our advantages in Hong Kong, and we also have mainland China as our hinterland, especially the GBA. This is a location with countless investment opportunities. I would also like to briefly respond to Stephen. He also talked about expertise, professionalism, as well as some innovative and new SMEs. Country-wise, in the GBA area or in the Guangdong province, these types of SME or the mini giants enterprises in Hong Kong outnumbered all the other areas in China. Well, Stephen has mentioned a company that is just listed, which is also part of the investment of Stephen. It is also a project in Shenzhen. So in Hong Kong, how can we cover the GBA? Because they have such strong growth in the SME as well as some featured enterprises. Going public is one way, but how can we help them to finance and invite some private investors? Apart from family offices, I think Hong Kong can still play a very important role as an accountant. Our professional services can also help a lot of clients. Even the investors, they will hope to look for such investment opportunities. Therefore, we are playing a very important role in the buying and selling of assets and services. Maybe I can share a little bit more about other developments. We do have some rather mature or even successful schemes, including the cross-boundary financial scheme, which is rather mature. We have already launched a pilot scheme. In the insurance industry, we are also proactively putting forward the Insurance Connect. In Hong Kong, we already have some very strong and healthy insurance companies. So how can we serve our clients in GBA? some are individual clients, corporate clients, but I believe when we discuss about the development of GBA, there is truly a huge demand in this area. Well, just now we discussed some maps and transportations, right? When vehicles cross the border, well, we would certainly need to have a car insurance. It'd be more convenient. Can I purchase a vehicle insurance in mainland China from Hong Kong? So in different areas of life, we would drive the demand for financial services. It is inevitable. I hope that we could be of help in this regard. We hope to support the insurance company as well as funds manager. We want to support the development in GBA. Benson has talked a lot about wealth product, financial product, because with financial products, we will have an industry. With the industry, accountants have work to do. After listening from Stephen and Benson, I think they didn't really touch on auditing. By the end of 2023, we have around 49,000 members at HKCMAB, and we only have 5,000 accountants who are active in the market. And therefore, they have shared a lot which does not involve the active practice of accountants, because many of our members have developed a multifaceted career, including the corporate environment governance and also some emerging industry, including wealth management or AI, virtual assets. In all these industries, they need accountants. Okay, I would like to direct our next question to Jasmine, because she is the partner of both Hong Kong and Macau EY. She is very familiar with auditing, taxation, financing, A&M consultation of different corporates. Most importantly, talents. I think we all find it difficult to make recruitments. How can we retain talents? How can we attract talents into our sector? Would AI replace our talents? Jasmine, over to you. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. I'm so glad. Finally, it's my turn. It's something that Stephen can't talk about, and I will explain why. I'm so glad to join this seminar. First of all, well, today we are talking about our accounting sector. First and foremost, I need to say how proud I am to be in this sector. I find myself blessed. I am in this sector since 1994 in Hong Kong. I've never left a public accounting firm, and I am still practicing. It has been 30 years. I am very fortunate to become an accountant. Over the 3 decades, I have one opportunity after another, in spite of the challenges. Second, I really love to talk about GBA. Come on, give me some response. I'm not, well, it is not because I'm sitting on this panel. It is not commercial time. I'm speaking out of my personal experience. I spent 7 years in GBA in Guangzhou. I worked there. I spent 12 years working in mainland China, starting from year 2001. And in year 2006, year 2007, I entered into Guangzhou, become the accountant there as well as a partner. So I have made my declarations. It proves that I have the credentials. Robert has asked a question about talents. since I have become the managing partner of EY Hong Kong, there is something that I always think about, and one of them is talents. How can we secure good talents at EY? Because we need people to do our work. We have lost a lot of talents because there are lots of opportunities out there. Well, although I don't have children myself, but I have a lot of friends who have. We have a next generation and the generation after next. I am very concerned about their future. Although I said that we have one opportunity after another, but the situation continues to change. Be it the geopolitics or the situation of mainland China and Hong Kong, a lot of things are constantly evolving. This is something that we need to pay attention to. At the forum today, I would like to share some takeaways I have. I do a lot of youth work. I always talk to the young, quote unquote, young people. I mean, those in their 40s. I would communicate a lot with them. I would ask of their opinions towards GBA. There is a term called Talent Connect, and we have our own GBA task force. Well, apart from revenue, we always need talents in order to do business. This is something that I constantly repeat. You need to have both capability and effort if you want to do something well. First of all, I am really glad to see progress, or maybe just a change. Compared with a few years back, in Hong Kong or in southern China, we have a lot more interactions and also the forms of people flow. We're not talking about shopping or eating in mainland China. I think it's both ways. People will always post photos when they come visit Hong Kong, so the tourist flow is not one way. On the other hand, I also see many people willing to work in mainland China. We also have a lot of internship who come to Hong Kong and work. No matter we are talking about Hong Kong students or staff at EY, they physically go to mainland China and form a hub there 3 years back during the pandemic. Well, of course, it offers some convenience at work, and they also see the career opportunities. They are all Hong Kong residents. They have never worked in mainland China before. I'm very happy to witness that.
And there's a lot of students from mainland China, mainlanders who applied to relocate to Hong Kong, mainlanders who were educated overseas. They are living in Hong Kong and creating a Chinese inbound group. And the number of people in this group has been on the rise. I know there's a lot of people from mainland China, they want to come to Hong Kong, and so this determination is very important. It is important for people from both places to get to know each other, and I hope that you will help promote it. Your abilities have to do with your language abilities, your knowledge, your training, etc. And these are all very important factors. And so what can we do to improve these areas? For instance, are Hong Kong people capable to operate in mainland China? It may be accounting, it may be other things. Are they well trained? Do they have the experience? Do they have the knowledge? And therefore, everybody has to equip themselves. And I'm sure people are doing this. And both the government as well as universities in Hong Kong are doing a lot in this area. People like to come to Hong Kong to work or come to Hong Kong as tourists. Family offices has been a important topic in Hong Kong, but to run successful family offices, you need to be very knowledgeable about what's going on outside of Hong Kong. You have to have very good language abilities. And I think there's still a lot of room for improvement. We need to create an ecosystem that is conducive to the development of family offices. And I think it is important for both places to recognize their professional qualifications. I think especially for the Greater Bay Area, more work should be done. There's a lot of high-end training courses to support young people who aspire to work in the Greater Bay Area, and is full of hope. Now, this is the upside. There are downsides, but of course, we don't have to talk too much about the downside. So it's important for young people to go outside of the comfort zone. And therefore, it's important for us to understand the positioning of Hong Kong, what role Hong Kong can play, and what kind of future we want to fashion. So what kind of contribution can Hong Kong make to the Greater Bay Area? This is something that we need to ponder on. Now, if you are determined to go to the Greater Bay Area, what should be done? Well, you need to have a very clear plan and clear goal. And there are a lot of projects attracting talents. Universities in Hong Kong should become more proactive. I think there's a lot of collaboration between universities in Hong Kong and those in the mainland China. Some Hong Kong universities are establishing outfits in the Greater Bay Area. Hong Kong students who intern at businesses in the Greater Bay Area, after coming back to Hong Kong, they need to debrief the peers or their professors. We shouldn't be working in silos. We need to collaborate so that we could provide high quality, high-end talents. And of course, it's going to take time, and we need to work harder. And especially for some industry, there are specific requirements. And so this is my 2 cents. Thank you. I think the takeaway is to have the determination and to make the efforts. Michael has been doing a lot of work. You've also mentioned professional qualifications. And Mr. Zhou mentioned non-auditing partners. So, Michael, I have a question for you. You have your own accounting firm stealing my and poaching my clients from the Greater Bay Area. So, Michael, could you talk about how to establish yourself so successfully in the Greater Bay Area in terms of business, clients, and also talents. Thank you, Robert, for your question. Let me briefly introduce myself. I focus on auditing and I have 20 years of experience, and Jasmine is more experienced than I am. And I've spent a decade at the Big Four, and then I've also worked at medium-sized firms. Now, Robert mentioned that I should talk about how I enter into the Greater Bay Area market. Now, Jasmine talked about the overall situation in the Greater Bay Area, and other speakers talked about financial services. There are some restrictions for Hong Kong accountants and auditors to enter into the Chinese market. Number one is the ICP. And in addition to getting this qualification, you have to pass an examination on Chinese law and Chinese taxation. And there are cultural differences and language differences between Hong Kong and Mainland China. It is very challenging. I attend training courses to pass these exams. The structure of the Big Fours are very different from that of medium size because at the outset they were joint ventures, and therefore the ratio of partners are a bit lax. And for consulting business, as long as they earn and obtain the qualification, then they could become partners at accounting firms in Mainland China. For us, we are not one of the Big Four, and so we don't practice actively in Mainland China. We focus on the offshore market. And we have exposure to 24 of provinces and cities. It could be engagement-based to collaborate with our partners from Mainland China. Some medium-sized accounting firms from Hong Kong may become consulting firms in Mainland China, enjoying a bit more freedom and fewer restrictions when they operate in Mainland China. So there are different ways to get around. A lot of you from Hong Kong may be interested in Qianhai or Nansha, and local governments at these districts, they also provide very attractive treatments to attract Hong Kong talents. And they are promoting these, and in terms of rules and regulations, for instance, are they going to release the restriction of 180 days for those who want to practice? And qualification for asset management from Mainland China, if they would accept the CPA qualification or the Australian qualification, then perhaps I think they would be more open in Qianhai. allowing these Hong Kong professionals to run offshore businesses in mainland China. Finally, I think Jasmine also talked about it. We need to understand the situation in mainland China, and we also need to improve our Mandarin. So this is all I wanted to say. Thank you. Michael talked about practicing in mainland China, and I've looked at my iPad. I see that a lot of questions are about practicing in mainland China. So I still have 10 minutes. Let's get started with Q&A. This question could be addressed by 4 of you. Talks about technology, practicing, and universities. And a lot of students, they're wondering if they should study accounting because it's exhausting and there's a lot of AI and technologies that could perhaps one day replace the work of accountants. But in the Greater Bay Area and also Hong Kong, we have Science Park, we have Hetao area. In high-tech development, perhaps high-tech could be integrated with accounting and auditing. So what kind of advice could we provide to young people? Are accountants going to be replaced by technology or AI? Should people study accounting at all? It is necessary. Even if you are an AI company, you need to create a statement, financial statement. It could be done by the CFO, by the accountant. And when you are negotiating for terms and interest rate for finance and loans, it should be done by human being. It cannot be done by AI. If you want to go public, you want to do your IPO of your company, these are the things that should be done by human beings. And therefore, you need to have human accountants.
How about you? Generally speaking, well, as Stephen said, the accounting sector shall always exist. But the world is changing. Therefore, our sector also have to evolve with time. We need to make use of technology so that our service can be perfected, including the use of data. We need manpower. We have different structures and organizations. We need to make different judgment calls. And all these are very important. Sometimes we have to prepare a report quarterly or annually, but in the future, maybe it is per day, per week, or even per month. You need to offer some precise information for people to make some accurate investment decision. So in terms of time, accuracy, and integrity, these are all going to be important. I think our sector will not just disappear. We just need to be transformed. I would like to do some promotion. Actually, the QB course of HKCMAB is not just teaching you about accounting. There are a lot of commercial tips, legal information, and how you make business decision. So as an accountant, you become a general talent. You can do business. You can even do well, or even when you want to start a charge on 10 in the future. We have heard a lot about generative artificial intelligence. In the Greater Bay Area, we have a lot of tech companies, especially in Shenzhen. I think these kind of companies will do a lot of collaboration and interaction in terms of research in other areas with local universities. As accountants, I think we need to make good use of these opportunities. We have to rely on AI and try to explore these new business opportunities. We have some more questions. Another question is about the development of private fund. Perhaps Stephen and Benson can help respond to that. There are some tax incentives for private funds. So what is the development of that in GBA? Internationally speaking, our members find that some traditional international private funds also have that competitive edge. So can you share with us what are the strengths that each of them have? Let me begin. Private fund is a very important industry. In recent years, the Hong Kong SAR government offers some tax incentives to family offices and private funds. Let's say I have some carried interest. In the past, many of them were registered in Cayman Island, but when they are now locating in Hong Kong, they will have tax incentives, even if it's a single family office. So people from the whole world will come to Hong Kong. And once they establish itself in Hong Kong, definitely they will invest in mainland China. For private funds, a lot of startups can't do financing, so the only way is to seek help from private funds and family offices. They hope that they can bring some ROI after a number of years. So it's like the private fund is trying to nurture you in your first years and get return in a few years' time. When we help the company in the past, we will always give them a VIE structure. They might go public in the United States and then in Hong Kong. Many of them can go public in mainland China, like Shanghai. They have the tech stock market, and they can do their operations with the renminbi fund. This is also in renminbi, and the government will also speed up my application for license. Many local enterprises are willing to invest in them. If I have some overseas funds in the past, it is impossible to go into China market, but we have KFRB, so we can turn US dollars into renminbi. How about having renminbi in overseas market? It will still work, vice versa. So the benefits of one country, two system is also bringing us some breakthrough because it is much easier to have cross-border transaction. Okay, people has reminded me that it's about time. Finally, I would like to invite our four speakers to use around 3 seconds or 1 minute to conclude our seminar today. Of course, we have potentials and challenges in GBA. So when our members want to go to GBA, be it the members here or the students, if they want to start their own business in GBA, it is at best for them to have an accounting background. Any takeaway, advice that you would like to give them? Michael, how about you start first? All right. Once again, commercial time. First of all, please acquire QP. Or no matter what regulations you need to pass through, you will have exemptions. Do you mean the examinations offered by HKCMAB, right? We have over 12,000 of student members. Out of over 12,000 of them, over 20% are mainland China students. Therefore, the examinations of HKCMAB is very attractive. In GBA, many students over there are also attending the QB of HKCMAB. Manson. My tips to young people is that, seeing is believing. Or what I would like to suggest is that believing is seeing. I hope that you will believe that they can support the development of GBA, the country, as well as Hong Kong. And seeing is believing. So, as speakers said, go to GBA yourself, walk on the land, exchange with the local people. If you are willing, don't just check it out on your phone. Visit the cities, talk to the people who work there. You may follow one of our trips. Please support our programs. I trust that it will be beneficial to the young people. It will help you embrace GBA so that it is not just a slogan. Jasmine? Well, just a few words. You have to understand yourself, your competitors, so that you can win every single battles. I think it's important. You also have to be open-minded. You can decide to stay behind Hong Kong or go to GBA or even Northern China. It's all good, but you have to learn about yourself. You find your strengths and make good use of it. Be open. I hope that students in Hong Kong can remember our own strength. And remember, Hong Kong is part of the GBA. We talk about 9+2, right? If the GBA is well, Hong Kong will be well. This is my take. Thank you. Stephen? In March, I had a meeting in Beijing, and a deputy chair of that company said that GBA is tailor-made for Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is the pearl in GBA, not just the pearl of the Orient. Because our financial sector, accounting, and legal sector is much stronger than the other cities. So you said you have to acquire QP, right? I think you also need to spend a few years at auditing firm. If you like it, stay behind. If you don't like it, come to me. Okay, please reach out to Stephen. I think it's about time. Once again, thank you all members for joining us, listening to the sharing of our four speakers. Thank you, the GBA committee under HKCMAB. Thank you for this opportunity for us to share. If you have any future questions, please reach out to HKCMAB, HKTDC. Reach out to us. We will certainly respond to you. We hope you will have a lot of business opportunities in GBA. Thank you, Robert, and all the sharing of the speakers. Thank you for all the analysis and insights. Please be seated.